Let me ask you something painfully honest. What if the reason your life feels stuck is not because you don't know where to go, but because you keep hesitating to move? That's where the book of Numbers begins. And that's why it feels uncomfortable. Because Numbers is not about enemies, it's about people who are free, but afraid to trust that freedom. After Exodus, the people are free. After Leviticus, they have structure, everything is ready, and yet they don't move forward. That's the tension of Numbers. The name Numbers sounds boring, but the counting is not random, it's preparation, a census before a journey. Who's ready? Who's responsible? Who carries what? Numbers begins with organization. Because chaos travels poorly, the people are standing on the edge of promise. Not slavery anymore, not settled yet, in between. And in between is where humans struggle most. At first, things look hopeful. There's order, there's direction, there's leadership. But it doesn't last long. Complaining begins, not loud rebellion, subtle dissatisfaction, food complaints, comfort complaints, memory distortion. They start remembering slavery as if it was better. That's not logic, that's fear. Numbers reveal something disturbing about human psychology. When the future feels uncertain, people romanticize the past even when the past hurt them. They complain about manna. Daily provision becomes boring, predictable. They want variety, excitement, and that desire opens the door to chaos. Moses feels the weight. Leadership in Numbers is exhausting. People demand miracles but resist responsibility. That's a timeless problem. Then comes one of the most important moments. Spies are sent to explore the land. The promise is real. The land is good. But the report splits. 10 see danger, 2 see possibility, same facts. Different interpretations. That moment defines the entire book. Fear spreads faster than faith, and fear sounds reasonable. Big enemies, strong cities, risk. Numbers shows how fear disguises itself as wisdom. The people panic. They decide not to move forward, not because they can't, because they're scared, and that choice changes everything. Here's the painful truth of Numbers. God doesn't force them. Freedom means consequences. If you refuse to move forward, you stay where you are. That decision leads to wandering. Years. Not because the journey was long, but because trust was short. Numbers is the book of almost entered the land, almost believed, almost became what they could be, almost is tragic. Generation after generation passes, not because God failed, because fear kept winning. This book shows that miracles don't automatically create courage. People saw the sea split, they still doubted. Experience doesn't guarantee transformation. Numbers also exposes leadership struggles. Moses gets tired, angry, impatient. Even great leaders crack under pressure. That honesty makes the story real. There are rebellions, challenges to authority, power struggles. Numbers doesn't hide dysfunction. Communities break from inside before enemies ever attack. The wilderness becomes a mirror. Every fear surfaces, every weakness shows. That's what waiting does. But Numbers is not hopeless. There are moments of grace, protection, guidance, second chances. God doesn't abandon the people, even when progress stalls. The book also introduces a hard truth. Some opportunities expire, not because God withdraws them, because time passes. A new generation rises, one that didn't live in Egypt. They still fear, but they're less attached to chains. By the end of Numbers, something shifts. The people are closer, still flawed, but ready. The long delay wasn't wasted. It revealed who was willing to trust. Here's the deeper message of Numbers. Freedom is not just about leaving. It's about choosing forward, even when forward feels risky. Numbers explains why people stay stuck for years. Same patterns, same fears, same excuses, different circumstances. If Genesis explains identity, Exodus explains liberation, Leviticus explains formation, Numbers explains hesitation. This book asks uncomfortable questions. What are you afraid of losing? What past are you romanticizing? What step are you avoiding? Numbers doesn't judge hesitation. It records its cost. And that's why it matters today, because many people are not enslaved. They're just afraid to move. Numbers doesn't end with arrival. It ends with readiness, a quiet moment before crossing, which is honest. Some seasons aren't about reaching the goal. They're about becoming the kind of person who can handle it. If you've ever felt like, I should be further by now, I keep going in circles, I know what to do but won't do it, Numbers understands you. It's not condemning you, it's warning you. Delay has consequences, but growth is still possible. The wilderness doesn't mean abandonment, it means preparation. And maybe that's the final wisdom of Numbers. God doesn't rush people who are still learning how to trust. Freedom opens the door. Wisdom decides whether you walk through it. That's the book of Numbers.